problem. We don't have a water problem anymore like we did. We dug that trench down the front lawn here. Try to keep the water from going up along there and across. All it did, as you see, did a little test before I put some French draining tube in. But that's coming out from underneath the driveway. That's how low it had to be dug out correctly for the pipe to breathe. So this is the second run on it today. So far, see, it's doing its trick. And down in here. I'll show you here. This probably a little mushy down here. Cause this still didn't dry out, but it ain't puddled like it would be. It would have been all water running across this. Right here when I'm stepping. You hear it squishing, right? And down here, it looks like I could go a little lower in some spots. As you see, it flares out and goes down into there. I'm going to have to do another one that goes up this way. From down from the back, get the back to go this way. I got to go down this way and then come down this way. Like so. You ain't going to be able to see what I just did in the night. Blurring it out, but I just moved the soil, as you can see over there. Kind of move the soil over there and use the side to try to hold it together. Looks like it's molding good enough. I might have to play with it a little bit more, but you know, the thing, man, the thing. You can see it's doing alright, right? Let's see, I'm gonna jump across here. Get over here. See, it comes out over here. And up over here, see, it comes out there and goes down into this creek I'm going to walk you up onto. I think I can get over here, this way. I don't have too much concrete to walk on, or too much water to walk in. I don't know. We'll see. This is across the street. Usually I can hear this no matter what, but today it's cruising pretty good. Right there. We have going all the time here. Right. So it'll be this way. Oh, see. Yeah, that's some really rolling there. You get to hear this all the time when you go outside. So there's something coming down there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. You see this little water holds up right here. I was trying to dig a little trench so the water would go down there, and it did when it was raining pretty good, but ran at a point where I got to dig out a little more out of this here. I guess right about there and back a little bit. Get that to flow and drain all the way, but it ain't holding like it was, so we'll take it. You can see it just did its thing down there and down there. Right. Kind of work this way across. Maybe do some more work to it, but on this side over here, I'm gonna dig this out. I can go up to about where the pole is there. That sign is right there. There's a telephone pole like right there. And I'm gonna dig some of this out here. Maybe double to 4 inches or something like that. And there you can see how the water's building up right over here. Maybe I'll see it more in the daytime sometime if I can catch it during the day, but right there goes underneath the driveway, and this is all us here. So I could, dig this down, let the water go down into it and go across, and then fill it in with some crushed stone. Same, like I'm gonna put, let's see, somewhere around here-ish or so. I'm gonna put, and you can see where I'm going, right? I'm like, there, and now you can see where that trench is, right? So the trench is over here, right? Over on the left-hand side. So right about the center, right about where you see that dark line going in here and pointing to the like lighter colored spot. Right around there, I'm going to put a retaining wall and fill this all with soil with a very light, very light, like 1 inch every 8 foot or something drop. So the water runoff still goes this way, but this, I'm going to make sure this is draining all down here, is draining well enough first, and then get the drains going, and then fill it with a lot of stone. And before I even give it a chance of having soil on top of it at all, but just at least down in this gully, it's going to be, enough to get the water flowing good enough, plenty enough, and then some crushed stone pretty deep on top of it so it has a little extra, and then I'll retain wall to keep the water that way. Alright, and the soil up here. Alright, so I'm doing a little update on this. I did some stuff in the dark. I'll probably add to this or put this on the end of it. You see, this is our drain thing we got there. Right down in there, water goes across the road there and into the creek over there. And this was getting all soupy in this grass right here, especially the lower part. Right down in here, this is all getting soupy. It seems to be drying out even with the rain that we've been getting since I had to cut this notch. I dug this hole out, this trench. And you'll see in the beginning of this video the water flowing through at night. I came out here and tried to catch it. You can see it flowing pretty good. It's still doing a little bit right now. But I got down here, there's some stone I ran into. Right up in here. Right up around there. So I gotta get through that. My back's been bothering me since I did this, so I've been taking a break, but you see how this is like a little bit too high. It's not letting all this out, but come up here. And there we go. I had to go around our water meter there, and I'm sure the water line comes in here, and I did it all by hand so I didn't hit anything. And there's probably going to be some spots that get a little buildup, but if you look down in there, you'll see that water's actually flowing. And as we go up around here, it's still flowing down here, right? So, there's water's still bleeding through the soil and coming from other places and working its way down here. And like here, all this here, this was super soupy. It's super squishy. It's a little squishy yet, but I think it never really had a chance to dry since I dug this out. So I'm hoping that I can leave it just one, but I might dig it double wide or put another one down around here, down in this lower spot here, and then channel it over, tapping in like around that where that bend is, or just down below that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But for now, I'm going to use this. I'll just improve it a little bit better down the end there. See that little dam kind of thing there. And then over here, on this side, the same kind of thing. Is get this all soup, gets all soupy, but it's real low, so the water runs down underneath the driveway, right? And I'm gonna dig this out, and our property goes up to just about that telephone pole, give or take. I'm not exactly sure where that line is, but we'll find out beforehand. I'll talk to the neighbors. But yeah, they got water running off their buildings here, but most of this, you know, the hill behind them's all ours. So all this is runoff, right? So a lot of this, yeah, like I said, some of it's running off the buildings, but regardless, we got to direct it somewhere. It's good, you know. This is the way the land wants to go. So what I'm thinking is I'll dig out here to at least that around that polish around there, and put more French drains and make this, fill this one and that there after I put, you know, the French drain, which, yeah, the first layer will be some kind of a cloth that allows water to go through, but not a bunch of material or soil. Right? You put that down, and you put, like, you know, like say 6 inches of soil or crushed stone down. Then you put the tubes down that have the holes in them. And my plan is that basically wherever I have to dig this out to, if I got to dig it out more, this whatever soil, I took this out and put it on this side this time. This to try to make that part a little bit more level, so it could, lawnmower could be ran over it, right? And just cut that side and then cut this side separately. And that was part of the idea there. So that's why you see the sod, I put it all along the edge to hold all that soil back, and frankly to get the place for the sod to be too. But if I gotta dig it out more, I'll dig it out and go this way with it. But basically from like here forward, I'm thinking crushed stone full depth for a majority of it, and then right around here I'm going to put a retaining wall to come up and bring this up to the sidewalk height. Right, the soil, hold the soil to about where the sidewalk is there, and have just a real light drift off away, you know, taper away from the house. And then with a retaining wall down here, that's going to be holding up like 2 foot, 3 foot of soil, and, you know, right about to about here or so. And then this will be a gully for water to run off to go down through. You know what I mean? So, you know, snow in the winter, whatever, it runs off the road and stuff, but that road's tilted this way, so generally the road goes off to that side. So it really shouldn't, it doesn't really affect us besides what snow gets plowed off the road. Otherwise, this is all just runoff from the mountain and our houses and stuff like that. Yeah, roof's on the agenda too. So yeah, I just figured I would show you guys what I was doing here. I mean, it worked before. It didn't flood the house, but the lawn would get soaked up to about, you know, here-ish or so. Or you couldn't, you know, you walked in it, or you went to run over it with a lawnmower and it was like squish, you know what I mean? So I want to get the water away from the house. So I'm going to figure if I go up to the sidewalk level all the way across and then catch that soil to that almost level with a slight taper, then I'll build some decks onto the front and the back of the house. The back of the house is a whole other thing there. There's a low spot there that water, you know, you walk outside the door about 8 foot and you start getting the soupiness. So I'm going to do French drains to that, and then I'll connect to the side yard here, right around that bush is, right just before that, I think. I'll run another one there and then have it come down here and drop off there. So I'll be able to get all the water to direct it and go across into the creek or across the street. Alright? And that way our land's a little bit more level and drier to use. That's the idea. I figured I'd bring these out when it wasn't stormy and when it wasn't dark. And you get an idea, better idea of what I was trying to show you in the dark. Alright? God bless you all. This is Brandon from Philly Gardens in West Virginia. We'll catch you next time.